Hello friends, today we'll start Bohr's theory of hydrogen atom. Niels Bohr, a Danish physicist in 1913, proposed a new model to explain the stability of an atom. He extended this model further by applying Planck's quantum theory. He made the assumptions in his first postulates. An atom consists a small heavy central part called a nucleus, in which whole of the mass and positive charge of the atom are concentrated. The negatively charged electrons revolve around the nucleus in closed circular orbits. The centripetal force required for rotations is provided by the electrostatic force of attraction between the positive charge and negative charge or electrons. Okay. Let m is equals to mass. M is equals to mass of the electron. Mass of the electron revolving around the nucleus. Z is equals to atomic number. Z is equals to atomic number. E is equals to charge on the electron. E is equals to charge on the electron. Charge on the electron. Then V is equals to orbital velocity of the electron. Orbital velocity of the electron. Then R is equals to radius of the orbit. Radius of the orbit. ZE is equals to charge on the nucleus. Charge on the nucleus. Epsilon naught is equals to permittivity of free space is equals to 8.854 into 10 raised to minus 12. Okay. The electrostatic force. The electrostatic force of attraction between the nucleus and the electron Fe is equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught ZE square upon R square. ZE square upon R square. Okay. The necessary centripetal force is Fc. Okay. This is Fe and this is Fc is equals to mv square upon R. Fc is equals to mv square upon R. Hence, according to first law, according to first law according to first postulates of Bohr's theory. Bohr's theory is mv square upon r is equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught z is square upon r square. mv square upon r is equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught into z is square upon r square. Equation number first. This is equation number first. Second is postulate second. The electrons revolve only in certain specific non-radiating orbits called stationary orbits. When the electrons revolve in these orbits, there is no loss of energy. Bohr showed that the electron can only occupy an orbit for which the angular momentum of moving electron is an integral multiple if h upon 2 pi, where h is the Planck's constant. Thus, for any given orbit, momentum of the electron is equals to mv. Then angular momentum of the electron is equals to mvr. Then according the first postulate of Bohr's theory, we have mvr is equals to n into h upon 2 pi. mvr is equals to n into h upon 2 pi, where n is any positive integer having values n is equals to 1, 2, 3, etc. Okay, and is called principal quantum number. For innermost orbit, n is equals to 1. For innermost orbit, n is equals to 1. This equation is second. Equation number second. Postulate third. When an atom jumps from one orbit to higher energy to another orbit to lower energy, the energy is emitted in the atom of radiations. The amount of energy emitted is the difference of energies of electron in the two orbits. Thus, an atom may emit or absorb energy from photons only when one electron of atom jumps from higher to lower orbit or from lower to higher orbit respectively. Let E1 is equals to energy of the electron in inner or lower orbit. E2 is equals to energy of the electron in outer or higher orbit. Then nu is equals to frequency of radiation. Frequency of radiations. Frequency of radiations emitted when an electron jumps from higher orbit to lower orbit. Higher orbit to lower orbit. Okay. Now, according to these postulates of Bohr's theory, according to these postulates of Bohr's theory, we have h nu is equals to E2 minus E1. H nu is equals to E2 minus E1. Okay. Next lecture we have seen that derivations for radius and energy. Derivation for radius and energy. Thank you.